So here's another Twixwood story. There was this guy named Bob, and he worked at Twixwood. And he worked directly for Russell, the guy who saved my butt by hiring me to be an irrigation technician. So Bob worked also for Russell, and I honestly don't remember what his job was. But Russell had a bike that he would ride. The nursery was big enough that it was really convenient for a supervisor to have a bike. So Russell had this red bike, and he would ride around. Well, Bob got a bike too. Bob got a yellow bike. And Bob was great. I love working with Bob, and sometimes on rainy days, we'd have to work together, and we'd chat. And he was older than me, super nice guy. Just another one of those nice guys that it's great to have in your life. And actually, you know, for a 13, 14-year-old kid, it was cool to have some guy that was in his 20s, you know, to hang out with at work, even at work. So there was this Morton building down at Twixwood that was used for mixing dirt and different things, called Morton 2. It wasn't where all the little stickers kids were and the little cutters and the potters. It was kind of a maintenance building. Right behind there was a big, deep drainage ditch. I'm talking, this thing was 6 to 8 feet deep. I don't really remember where I think it flowed out to the river, the St. Joe River. And it kind of drained a little bit of the uphill parts of the nursery, I guess. And there was a footbridge that went over that ditch. There was always water in that ditch. Not full, but there was always water in that ditch. Well, the footbridge was only 3 feet wide, and it didn't have rails. And Russell and Bob were always riding their bikes over that bridge. Like, you know how the sign says, "Stop, walk your bike across the bridge." Well, there was no sign there, and those guys never stopped and walked their bike across the bridge. They always rode across the bridge. Well, one day I was working in there, and I heard this, "Ah!" And I went running out just in time to see Bob standing in the ditch, up to over his knees in water with his bike. And he had come into that bridge too fast, had missed it, and had dumped himself right into the irrigation ditch. I gotta tell you, Bob's a great guy, but that was funny.